Hey everyone, I'm Dean Obeidallah, and welcome to tonight's preview of the Dean Obeidallah Show on SiriusXM Channel 127. My show's live 6 to 9 p.m. every night, 5 nights a week, and it is tonight, Thursday, July 30th. The big number, 96. 96 days into the most important election of our lives. And Donald Trump can talk about canceling the election all he wants. Not going to happen. We're going to have an election. We're going to win the election. He knows it. That's how dangerous Donald Trump is to our republic right now. And I'll talk about the legality. I'm a lawyer from the legal point of view about can he do that. But let's talk about the issue he wants to distract America from. Because that's what's really going on. And it's twofold, and it's very clear. You don't have to be a genius to understand this. It's COVID-19, both the health crisis, the loss of life, and the economic calamity that we're living through, which is now, as we got new numbers today, and I'll share in a second, worse than the Great Depression. Not the Great Recession, the Great Depression. That's what we're going through. Now, first of all, the loss of life is horrific. We had about 70,000 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday. To give you some context, a few months ago, we were down to about 20,000 cases a day. Now we're over 70,000. The death toll jumped to 1,420 of our fellow Americans died yesterday. That's just about every minute an American died. Every minute a loved one was lost. A mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a grandparent was lost to COVID-19. And this is an increase in just 2 weeks, 58% of death toll. This is all Trump. There's no disputing it. At this point, what we're going through now is all Trump. The very beginning, no. To be fair, it was coming here. It came from Europe and from Asia. There's nothing we can do about that. It came here. But Donald Trump didn't contain it. And he is responsible for both the economic loss we're in now and this uptick in deaths. And sum it up quickly. Remember, this thing was the Democrats' new hoax, he called it in February. In March, he said it would go away in April with the heat. He said when there were 15 cases, we have 15 and soon it will be 0. That was at the end of the month of February. Soon it would be 0. We have nearly 5 million cases right now. This is a guy who on July 4th, just weeks ago, looked America in the eye on the July 4th speech, read off a teleprompter and told America and lied to America that 99%, his exact words, 99% of the cases of COVID-19 are, quote, totally harmless. That's a lie. There are people who are mourning their loved ones because of Donald Trump's lying. We even learned today Herman Cain died of the virus. And while we don't know exactly where he got it, we do know on June 20th, Herman Cain attended Donald Trump's Tulsa rally. No masks, we saw pictures, no social distancing. Just 9 days later, Herman Cain tested positive for the virus. A few days later, he was hospitalized. He never got out of the hospital. He passed away. This is very real. But Donald Trump made it light, and the result is of Donald Trump's call to liberate, liberate, liberate. We have an uptick in death toll, and now new economic numbers that came out today, which were horrific, terrible. This should be getting all the press. That's why Trump tweeted about, I want to cancel the election, because he knew how bad this is. But here's the truth. You don't have to tell Americans how bad the economic situation is when they can't make ends meet. You don't have to tell anyone that they're struggling to pay their rent or their car payment or their mortgage, that the economy is not good. You don't have to tell someone struggling because the $600 federal unemployment benefits are ending now because of Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell. And I say that accurately because the House Democrats in mid-May passed the HEROES Act, which has extended these benefits for another 6 months. You have to tell them. You have to tell them when they're being evicted now because the federal rent moratorium ends tomorrow. But the Democrats passed an extension in May, but Mitch McConnell and Trump did nothing. They know it. But here are the numbers anyway, and it's stunning. Today it was reported by Trump's own Commerce Department. The gross domestic product, which is simply our economic output as a nation, dropped on an annual rate by 32%. By 32%. To give you context, the worst quarter, this is all quarterly, the worst quarter before this, in all the time they've kept records, during the Great Depression, when it dropped 28% in one quarter. We are now 32% drop in one quarter. This is stunning. As CNBC notes, Neither the Great Depression nor the Great Recession saw any of this slump in this quick of a time. And it gets worse, and it's sad it gets worse. CNBC reported today the employment gains that we had in May and June now are evaporating. Consumer spending is slowing again as places are closing and people are understandably concerned. They're seeing the virus numbers go up. They're hearing about the death toll of friends and loved ones. Every Thursday, we get the weekly new claims for jobs. It measures how we're doing each week. For 3 months, it had been going up, then it started going down. On July 16th, on that day, we reported 1.3 million Americans filed for unemployment. But then it started going up again. This is all Trump. Liberate, liberate, liberate. Has to close down again. Last week, 1.4 million filed for unemployment. That's the first uptick in 3 months. What did we learn today? It went up again from 1.4 million to now 1.43 million. That's in a week, folks. Over 1,430,000 Americans filed for unemployment in the last week alone. This is all Trump. Instead of being responsible, having national leadership on an issue like COVID-19, which would have been easy to do, from using the Defense Production Act, to setting the example of wearing masks, to have an executive order on mask wearing, an executive order on social distancing, telling his base to do the right thing. Instead, he told them to do the wrong thing. And in this situation right now, you got to look historically at this. Great Depression, it happened under a Republican president, Herbert Hoover. It took a Democratic president, FDR, to save this nation. The Great Recession started under Republican president, George W. Bush. It took a Democratic president, Barack Obama, to save this nation. And once again now, this Trump recession, which is turning into a depression, obviously happened under a Republican president. And it will take a Democratic president to save us. And that's not just a talking point. It really goes to the heart of what our different parties are about. The Republican Party does not believe that government can help you. Let me read you the 9 famous words by Ronald Reagan that sum up the GOP mantra now for decades. He said, quote, "The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help." So the GOP, the government helping is the most terrifying thing. Democrats, it is in our DNA to use government to help people in need. That's why Democratic presidents had to come in and save this nation. After the Great Depression, it was saving the nation. After the Great Recession, it was saving our nation. Once again now, both economically and from a health crisis, Democrats believe in our philosophy, regardless who's the Democratic president, they believe in using all the powers of the government, the full arsenal of the government's powers to help people. That's why we need Joe Biden. That's why we need a Democratic Senate as well. And of course, a larger group in the House. So with all this backdrop, that's where Donald Trump wants to cancel the election with his tweet with universal mail-in voting, and he slams absentee voting, which, by the way, folks, is exactly the same as mail-in voting. There's no difference. It's the same ballot. But in any event, he said the election will be the most inaccurate and fraudulent ever, a great embarrassment to the USA. Then he writes, delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote. Then he adds a question mark to play a little game, like, is this a question? Think about what Trump said. He wants to delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote. And who do you think determines when America is ready to properly, securely, and safely vote? Us? No. Donald Trump does, based on polling. The reality is Donald Trump wanted to cancel the election. This was a trial balloon, just like dictators and authoritarians do all the time. In this case, oddly enough Republicans loudly pushed back. But I can tell you this, Donald Trump's base is on board with this. And I don't say that based on guessing. I tell you that based on a 2017 poll. In 2017, there was a poll done. 56% of Republicans then, in 2017, said they'd support delaying the election if Trump asked them to prevent illegal aliens from voting. So you already have a majority of Republicans on the base on board with this. So yes, you have some leadership saying no. The base would suspend the election. Donald Trump's base does not believe in democracy. They don't believe in our republic, our constitution. They believe in Trump. I've never seen this. This is what we're going through. Now, just from a legal point of view, Donald Trump unilaterally cannot stop the election. Does that mean Bill Barr is not right now researching? Is there a way for Donald Trump to stop the election? I can assure you Bill Barr right now is trying to look up some way to, on its face, allow Donald Trump to stop this election. They are dangerous people. They are the enemy of the Constitution. You know, every generation in America is called on to stand up for our country. Generations ago, it was to stand up to Nazism. Today, we are called as a generation to stand up to Trumpism. And this generation is not one defined by age. It's one defined by values. If you believe in American values, this is your time. I don't care, Democrat or Republican, apathetic, you never voted. This is the calling of this generation to stop this drumbeat to totalitarianism and the authoritarian regime he wants. And just quickly, I think probably most people have seen it by now, by law, with federal law passed 1845, Congress enacted a law. The election has to be the first Tuesday after the first Monday, so in this case, November 3rd. Only an act of Congress can change it, not an executive order. Secondly, Donald Trump could try to stay in office all he wants. Thankfully, the 20th Amendment, so this is the Constitution, says on January 20th at noon, Donald Trump's powers evaporate. They're gone. He's no longer president. He doesn't have to agree not to be president. His powers are gone. People go like, what happens then? Well, a new president, Joe Biden, then would ask the Secret Service to remove the trespassing Trump in the White House, arrest him if he won't come out, and drag him out of the White House in front of all the cameras. That's the dream scenario. I have no idea how it's going to end, but I think we all know this. This will not be a traditional transfer of power. I'm not saying it'll be violent. I'm just saying it will not be traditional. Whatever it might be, Trump not showing up at the inauguration, Trump disputing the election the whole time, Donald Trump trying to undermine Joe Biden before he's even sworn in. I think we can expect that. Will there be a call for violence from Donald Trump? It's likely because Donald Trump in 2016 called on his base to do violence and has defended people doing violence in his name. It won't be a civil war. I can tell you that. It'll be put down quickly. Some Trump supporters will be in jail. That's life. I hope they don't make that choice, frankly. In our nation, ballots, not bullets, decide the outcome of our elections. That's the key to all. So on the show tonight, we'll talk about this and more. It's some great guests. We're going to have Zerlina Maxwell is going to join us to talk about her great new book. Authoritarian expert, perfect timing, Ruth Ben-Ghiat, and Latif Nasser. He's a really funny guy. He has a new show on Netflix. He's hosting a new show, a documentary show. So I hope you tune into the show again, 6 to 9 p.m., channel 127, Progress on SiriusXM. I say every night, even if you don't subscribe to SiriusXM, go to the website. There's always free trials. Sign up. Come over. Listen to the show. Call up. Be a part of the conversation. Be a part of our family. Be a part of this generation that on November 3rd is going to defeat Donald Trump and crush Trumpism. Remember, as I say every night, stay strong, stay angry. Thanks for tuning into my preview.